Spaceman, my view is that homosexuality is a sin just like stealing, drinking, to excess and drunk driving and, drugs. It's just another sin. But I want to tell you something about that. When I became a Christian, I asked some of my Christian friends, why do you guys talk more about homosexuality than like the other sins, like a little bit more? And my Christian friends had a good answer. They said, well, because the sin of homosexuality, well, Spaceman, I'll use you as an example because you're a tutor. Spaceman, can you imagine if you and I were teachers, okay, and we were teaching our kids, oh, it's okay to lie. You were born with this nature that you want to lie. It's natural to want to lie and take the easy way out. You and I would get fired as a tutor. But when it comes to the other sins, such as homosexuality, they're actually promoting it, pushing it into society. So I don't believe from a spiritual standpoint sin is sin. I do believe that it's sin. What's different about that particular one from a society standpoint is it's now being promoted and pushed into society. Now, if you were a teacher and I was a teacher and we stood up in front of the class and said, students, look, you were born with this nature to lie. I mean, after all, you feel like lying. It's natural that you want to lie or cheat on your test or whatever. So go ahead and do it. We would be fired. But this particular sin does seem to be, obviously, we would all agree, even atheists would agree, that it is promoted into society. Now, my uncle, I got to tell you something, my uncle was in the homosexual lifestyle. I did work on the suicide hotline saving lives of homosexuals. And the average lifespan of a male homosexual of 40 years is 40 years old. Even if you take the spiritual aspect out of it, from a medical perspective, it is as dangerous as taking heroin on a daily basis. At my website, shockanow.net, if you go there and you click links, there's a link there which shows some of the diseases that you can get, such as a colostomy bag and different things like that. But Spaceman, let me ask you your opinion on this. Are you a homosexual?
Wow. No, I am not a homosexual. Thank you for asking. Really, I find it quite offensive that you would equate homosexuality to lying. And I have also heard you equate it to molestation, murder, and rape. And the difference is that those actions are directly harming other people. They are infringing on other people's rights. What gender someone else has a preference for loving does not. And I would not say that it is being pushed on society. We have regulations requiring employers to create an equal opportunity workplace and a non-hostile workplace. And wherever you got that the average lifespan of a homosexual man is 40, I would call that bullshit. And when I was discussing the issue of homosexual marriage with...
No, Spaceman, please don't cuss in here. Act a little bit more Christian and less atheist, because we do run the room like a theocracy. But actually, you can go and look at the medical statistics on it. Let me read it to you. Listen to this. Smokers and drug addicts don't live as long as non-smokers or non-addicts. The typical lifespan of homosexuals suggests that their activities are more destructive than smoking and as dangerous as drugs. Now, don't be upset, Spaceman, where the evidence leads. Just accept it. Don't deny it. Just accept it. Listen what happened. All right, sorry about that. I reloaded. Okay, so listen to this. Get this. The regular newspapers, not the specialized newspapers, the regular newspapers said the median age of death of married men was 75, and 80% of them died of old age. In other words, 65 age or older. For unmarried or divorced men, the median age of death was 57, and 32% of them died old. Now, get this. This is terrifying. The median age of death for homosexuals, however, was virtually the same nationwide, and overall less than 2% survived to old age. Spaceman, if you really love people, man, you'd warn them about this. See, what you're doing is not love. What you're doing is hate. Love is saying to hell with political correctness and warning people when they're heading towards a brick wall. Listen, if AIDS was the cause of death, the median age was 39 years old. For the 829 gays who died of something other than AIDS, the median age was 42. And only 9% died old. The 163 lesbians had a median age of death of 44, and 20% died old. 2.8%, now you're probably going to deny these numbers just like the fine-tuned universe, but 2.8%, that's 2.8% of gays died violently. They were 116 times more apt to be murdered, 24 more times more apt to commit suicide. I know that because I worked on the suicide hotline, and had a traffic accident death rate 18 times the rate of comparable aged white males. Heart attacks, cancer, and liver failure were exceptionally common. Now, there's some stuff, I have to be honest with you, I can't even read it. It's terrifying. Some of the diseases that they get. Now, if you guys want to see this, and I got to tell you something, Spaceman, there was a guy that came into this room the other day, and he was in the homosexual lifestyle. And he got on the mic, and him and I started talking, and he was actually a very nice guy. I think Ramirez was here, and possibly Scott and and him and I got along real fine, and I said, look, go read the medical journal. Go read this medical site. Matter of fact, this is Paul Cameron. He's a PhD. He's a doctor. And he's got all this on his site. It's not something I typed up, right? When the guy went and read it, he came back and he said, wow, I never knew that. So when my uncle, who actually died of AIDS, and his partner died of AIDS, how was it not loving? How was it not loving of me to warn someone of that? Now, here's another thing, too, Spaceman. About 75% of people in the homosexual lifestyle have had both sexual partners. Think about that. So even though they'll say, well, I'm not attracted to this type or that type, that does not seem to be what the facts represent. 75% have had male and female partners. But I don't think when you say love, I don't think anyone, I don't think if you read what happens, I don't think that's love. I don't think anyone that is a male or female can't love. What we're talking about is very dangerous, sexual activity, extremely dangerous. And what we're talking about is something that God said not for us to do because He loves us, not because He hates us. It's like if you have a bird, I know you have a cat, if that was you, your cat attacking you. If you have a bird and you put the bird in the cage and every now and then you'll take the bird out and stuff of your house, well, you put him in the cage not because you're being mean to him, but because you want to protect him. And it is obvious that people can leave that lifestyle. There's all types of my friends on YouTube. There's lots of people that used to be in that lifestyle that have left it, and they're all on YouTube. They talk about that. That one girl also with the dark hair, and there was another girl and a bunch of guys. They were in that lifestyle and they left it. And even Scripture talks about that. It says, "And such were some of you, but you have been sanctified, you have been washed through salvation of Jesus Christ." So, I don't know, man. I'm giving you the actual medical facts here, but you'll probably deny those too. But then again, you are an
Wow. I think your source is old and misused. I have another source here that was found with very minimal research. Can I type it into the chat? Can you enable the chat again?
No. I don't really want people putting links in there because we've been having trolls putting links in, and when people click it, they get viruses. So just say it verbally and we'll write it down. Or people can email you later, but I don't really like that. We've been having a lot of complaints because people have been putting links in that when they click it, it's a virus.
I can't.
Well, hold on. Man, my computer's so slow. Okay, SpaceMan, let's do this so we don't bore everyone to tears. So what's your point, man? You're just like trying to promote homosexuality? I don't get it. I mean, I don't get why you're so obsessed with, like, it was weird. Like, we did a debate, and then all of a sudden afterwards you're like, you bring up homosexuality, which is weird to me that you would bring that up. I don't know what that says about you. Are you married, I hope? Do you have a girlfriend, I hope? But, so what is it? Like, what's your point? Like, it seems like you're upset that homosexuality is a sin or something. So what are you trying to say?
I have heard a bit about your views on homosexuality, so I thought it would be interesting to hear you describe it in your own words. I don't know why you are feeling the need to question my sexuality. It's a little disturbing that you decided to become so curious about that. My source isn't sick. It's you like the source.
We were going through the debate, and you were trying to prove that atheism was true, and then you brought up homosexuality. How does homosexuality prove atheism is true? Or are you saying that all atheists are homosexuals? I don't get it. Is that what you're claiming? Are you claiming that all atheists are homosexuals? That's weird that you would claim that. But I don't get it. How does homosexuality prove atheism's true? I don't get that.
You are outrageous. There is just nothing you won't say. I thought we were over with that debate, so I decided to move on to another topic. I already explained my points to you. You disagree with them, or you just didn't understand them, so I'm moving on to this. It's not a debate, I just wanted to know. Anyway, the document that I have is called The Life Expectancy of Gay Men. Does HIV make much of a difference? It says, as a general rule, when the term 20 years of your life or similar is used, the claimant is referring to this work by Hall and his colleagues. The use of words such as the average life of only 42 years points to Paul Cameron. Hall's paper was valid, although now clearly out of date and sorely misused. It requires a considered response. Cameron's scurrilous work is without any merit and needs to be rejected out of hand. You hear that? Rejected out of hand. It also says the average life expectancy for someone who is homosexual is only 2 years less than someone who is heterosexual.
Well, that was bizarre, but good luck with your life, man. I don't know what you're getting at there. I don't know what you're trying to tell us, that the closet's opening up slowly. But, well, good luck with that, man. We'll open up the room to on that note, we'll open up the chat room if anyone else wants to get on. That was bizarre, but the atheism debate ended on the atheist talking about gayness. Yes. Okay. Anybody else want to get on?